What's happening, my Reds? What is going on? What's good to all my Reds family out there? Also, big up to the neutrals and even the rivals that are joining us. Hello to all of you that are joining us live and direct. It's been a couple of days, but we're getting closer to New Year, so this is like one of my busiest times of the year, unfortunately. So sometimes I have to take a little bit of a break sometimes to handle some other business, but this is where my heart is. So I'm back trying to get in this episode before the new year, and I brought Lee with me. I brought a Scouser with me, so I got Scouts in the house. Big up. How are you doing, Lee?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm really good, actually.
That's really good. You're telling me you're up. Everyone's. I don't think anyone can knock your stride, or he is up and vibrant, and he's got a little pep in his step now that we've got a couple of wins under the belt, and that's good to hear. Hopefully our panel, or if we do have others for the panel, they'll hopefully be joining you in that sentiment, but we'll see. I mean, there's certain things about that what we've seen go on with the team has definitely been some interesting ups and downs, and this has certainly been, even during these ups of wins, there's still some questions to be answered. So I figured in this episode, Lee, we do like game week 18. Now the game week 18 is done. Boxing Day gave us another dose of madness, and now the league is racing towards the final fixtures of 2025, and that's what we're going to talk about, obviously, now that we've completed our 2025, at least for this year. Chelsea dropped points for a second week running after losing to Villa. Arsenal made it 3 straight wins. City have stretched their winning run to 8 across all comps, and United, Spurs, and Liverpool keep their momentum as the top four definitely raised. The top four race definitely tightens. So tonight we're going to have a quick league recap. Certainly going to have a Jota tribute because that was a beautiful moment that we got to see for Jota at Anfield against the Wolves. We're also going to give a Liverpool rating section, some key takeaways that I had, maybe even give you like a 10 points, what we can crunch from going into the new year. And we finally get to celebrate Florian Wirtz's first Premier League goal and what it unlocks for this team is what we're going to talk about. So, hey, you guys ready? If Lee, if you're ready, we can rock and roll. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Hopefully you guys are ready out there too. Big up to Nems and Red Armchair Supporter. Big up to Norm. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. I saw Cedric in the house, which is always good to see. Lee WizKid, definitely showing some love for sure. Big up. I'm going to just do like a little bit of the match summaries first. I guess we can do that, because I know Manchester United are picking up a little bit of steam. I know that Newcastle is a team that was supposed to challenge. I know that the knock of having Isak, or your top scorer, lead the team certainly wasn't going to be one that you can just keep it moving. But to be honest with you, the players they brought in have really kept the momentum going, guys. And I think that Walter Made is doing a decent job for them. But on Boxing Day, we got a Patrick Dorgo's first half volley that was basically the decider in that game. United held on for 1-0 and secured 3 points, which was huge because I didn't think that they were going to be able to get that against Newcastle. And then Manchester City are keeping the kettle hot, and certainly the Sharks, as they like, the Blue Sharks, are certainly getting restless on the road. They won 2-1 at Nottingham Forest. Reinders opened it. Hutchinson leveled it. Cherky won it at late. 7 minutes from time. It was a good game, I think, if you're a City fan. That's 8 straight wins across all competitions. Not flashy every time, but certainly relentless. And I think what's most notable is Cherky has started to step it up, I would say. I think he's become a more featured commodity for Manchester City currently. And that's a good thing for him. We're obviously going to go about, we'll save Liverpool. we'll save the best for last, but we'll save Liverpool for last there. But Arsenal beat Brighton 2-1. We had an Odegaard goal. Then we had another. I don't know what it is, but Arsenal are just getting blessed with own goals lately. They had another own goal, and it's becoming a thing for Arsenal. It's 4 of Arsenal's last 6 goals. So 2/3 of the goals that Arsenal have scored have been own goals. That's pretty crazy. In all competitions, that's what they're doing so far in December. Certainly, those are some gifts that they've gotten under their Christmas tree. I don't know how you feel about that, but and then I think one of the biggest games of the week was Villa beating Chelsea 2-1. João Pedro had Chelsea ahead, had Chelsea ahead early, and then after the break at least, and then Ollie Watkins hit a second half brace to flip it. It was something of a game. I know Fulham won 1-0 too, by the way. Brentford beat Bournemouth 4-1, and Burnley and Everton 0-0. And Sunderland also was as well. But what was the game of the weekend the week that you guys were all that you all were enhanced by, or I don't know, which one did you guys think?
Well, I was interested in the Chelsea Villa game myself, until I realised that Chelsea would go ahead of us if they won, and then I was more than happy for Villa to make a comeback, and win that game, because in the grand scheme of things, Villa will be below us when the season ends. So for them to take a bit of wind out of Chelsea's sails was quite funny. But that aside, I think things are looking good for us, or they're looking decidedly better anyway at the moment for us. I think we're on the right track. We're trying to, resuscitate ourselves, and show some sort of form. And I think that is what's coming up, in the next few months. I think we will be a better side in the next few months, and yeah. So I'm pleased. Basically, I'm pleased about the way the table is and the way things are shaping up. I think it looks okay at the moment for us, despite all the naysayers and gloomy doomy people. Whether you think Arnie's the man in the long term or not, he is still the manager, and just support him anyway, even if you don't like him and you want him out. So I think we can definitely finish third this season, in the league. It's hard at the moment to get a grip on what we could do in the Champions League. I'm always positive about what Liverpool can and can't do, but our form's going to have to improve quite a lot, for us to do well in the Champions League in the knockout stages when it resumes.
Certainly, I get that, and I want to see better performances from the team, certainly, but most notably, I thought that it was important. I was, first priority is seeing our team win, obviously. But I also have to give proper respect to Aston Villa. I think that Villa's accomplishment of winning now 11 games, I think they're 11 games unbeaten, or maybe 11 wins, I think, and that might be through all competitions. But it's now I think they've gone on the longest unbeaten or win streak in their history of their team since, I don't know, for 100 years or something like that. Or it's something ridiculous. I'm sure, big up to Dustin, by the way. I'm sure someone in the chat will drop that stat for us.
You know what? There's a part of me that would like to see what Unai Emery could do at Anfield with our squad and a few bob.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Not saying I want Arnie out. I'm just saying if that does happen, we could do worse than Unai Emery as a punt.
So let's get into a little bit of I want to get into this with the chat too, as well, get them involved in the conversation. But also, I want to make sure that I'm not just alone in this thinking, because there have been some people. I was just watching again. I watch other channels on YouTube, blah blah blah. One of the channels I do frequent quite a bit is the Football Terrace. And it's very interesting because I sat there listening to two Arsenal fans, possibly some might call it a third with Terry sometimes, but that's just a joke, Terry. But he's a Manchester United fan, of course. But it was very interesting because I sat there listening to these two Arsenal content creators. It was Egal and someone else, basically put Villa's accomplishment and their run as being, oh, it's flash in the pan. It's nothing big. It's nothing to see here. You know, do we worry about Villa? No. That's basically what they're trying to do. And they're trying to downplay the accomplishment of what Villa's doing right currently. And what was very, I think, interesting about that is it sounded more like projection than it did actual analyzation of Villa's accomplishments. And what I mean by that is they were talking about, oh, well, you know, the year will end out and we'll see this team, we'll see Villa just fall off, or, you know, there's always a team that shows up for a little while and then they fall off. And I'm like, are you talking about Villa? Or are you talking about Arsenal? First off, you know what I mean? Because that's a little bit more of what Arsenal does than Villa has done as of late, because this is one of the first opportunities they've had to be even remotely mentioned in the title race in a long time. And one of the most notable differences is that they have a comparable coach at the helm. At least in my opinion, they have a comparable coach at the helm. And I think that if they start putting in Villa as a contender, or they start giving the proper respect to Villa, it would be most likely them saying, well, maybe we did kind of, you know, pull the plug on Emery too soon.
I'm not sure he's a big club manager, as in Liverpool big or PSG big, whatever big. I'm not sure he's a big club manager, but I do like the way he manages. I mean, did you see the fucking state of that Villarreal team he took to the Champions League semi-finals against us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, it was a bunch of fucking... it was nothing. Like, it cost about $3 bob to put together that team, the Villarreal team we faced in the semi-final. And that's not to say they were a bad team, because they put paid to Bayern Munich the round before. Like, Bayern Munich, who'd spent a lot of money on their team, and Emery managed to, like, fuck them off. He jacked them before we played them. But he is a really good manager, isn't he? And I don't know, I'm just thinking like, he's a good man. Maybe not for us, like, but he's been great, like, since he came in. It was a great appointment from Villa. It was a bit sore for Liverpool fans because he replaced Gerrard, like, but obviously Stevie wasn't doing it. He left Rangers too soon, probably, like. But bringing him in after Stevie, you know, I don't want to be mean to Stevie, like, but they were going nowhere, Villa, under him, like, and then they bring Emery in, and all of a sudden they're back in the Champions League.
Yeah, I know you're not trying to be too harsh to our legend that is, you know, Stevie G, but I understand what you're saying, what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, he left Rangers too quickly there, didn't he? Like, it seems, and Villa wanted more than he could give them at the time.
Where did they end up that year? Do you remember? Does anyone remember where they ended up that year?
The year that
most of us just contemplate, or most of us just think about the collapse they had at the Etihad. But like, and again, you know what? I think if anything, if that game isn't at the Etihad, maybe we win this. Maybe we win the Premier League. By the way, it's not. That's just it's just Manchester City once again are fortunate to have a home game. We had a home game too. I understand someone can push back with that, but yeah, I think that if they were at home, maybe that momentum that they established in that game early by going up 2-0, I think it was at one point, you know, maybe the home crowd gets them over the line as opposed to, seeing what happened, which is history. But I'm listening. Go ahead. I didn't mean to. I was just interjecting that.
I mean, it would be funny if they won the title. I'd fucking love it. Like, I'd really enjoy that. If we can't win it, I'd much rather have Villa than Arsenal or Man City.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you're not alone in that at all. That's exactly where I am at right now. I would love to see Manchester City, start to flake out a little bit, and I would certainly love to see Arsenal do the same. But it's a case where I don't know. What else do you think though it's right? Do you think that they aren't really giving proper respect? I think truthfully it is them not giving proper respect. But what do you think?
Are we talking
Meaning
about
like,
are we talking?
no, yeah, about the way that a lot of Arsenal, even Terry from the Football Terrace was trying to undersell or undervalue what they've done. He would put it under. He would always say like, "Oh, it's a great accomplishment," but, and then give like the reason why, Villa being in the top four is not
No, I
sustainable.
mean, there's no chance they're going to win the league. We all know that. But I did enjoy seeing them back in the Champions League. Told you before, one of my early memories, and this was before I even was into football as a person, was Villa winning the Champions League, the European Cup in 1982 against Bayern Munich. It was a Scouser was the captain and a Scouser was the goal scorer. Peter Wirtz from Southport, pretty much a Scouser. Dennis Mortimer, definitely a Scouser from Kirby.
Right.
Same as Phil Thompson. So I've always liked Villa. They're always a big, good club. It was weird for them the way that happens in football. They just disappeared from the Premier League for a while, and that sort of cut them down as a big club and a club that you fucking think about or anything like. But yeah, Villa were always good years ago, you know what I mean? Champions of Europe.
Were.
Not that many teams can say that.
Not
Sadly, Manchester City can say that now, but Arsenal can't say that. Aston Villa can say that. Do you know what made me laugh about when Emery got the Villa job? Somebody probably said to him, yeah, this club, it's actually won the European Cup / Champions League. Arsenal never ever did that,
Right. Yeah.
That's probably how they sold him on the job. They said, Unai, mate, this club has won the European Cup / Champions League. Arsenal haven't. Come here, and we'll sort you. We'll give you the base to work from.
Yeah. And I think that there was that even when they did sack Stevie, I think that they still knew that there was a team that could eventually compete if put together properly and managed well. I'm not saying Stevie isn't a good manager. I think Stevie isn't a bad manager, to be honest with you. I just think that he needs a little bit more seasoning to get to that level where he can kind of make the difference of just being, more than just a former player.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him the way it went down with him. It was quite harsh. They were on him quite quickly, and he bought the centre back who got injured straight away and who is quite good. Is he called Diogo Costa or something Costa? Diego Costa, but the same thing, and he's a centre back, and that was Gerrard's last signing. But when Emery came in, he got this guy and utilised him when he was fit, but then he got injured again quickly, and I've forgotten who his bloody name is.
Yeah, there's Man City, Villa, and Arsenal, the three best teams in the Prem when it comes to form these days. 5 straight wins for both Man City and Villa. Absolutely spot on with that comment. They are some of the better teams of this year. I just don't think that's why I just understand why people are like, oh, it's like, this is just a flash in the pan. They just accomplished something that they've never accomplished or haven't accomplished in over 100 years. That's not a flash in the pan. That's an actual accomplishment that needs to be appreciated and recognized at least. And to think that Villa failed to score in their first 4 games this season, yeah, they started off cold. If you think about it now, if Villa had been performing, let's say if they'd just been getting draws or at least getting a win or two in those first couple of games, it would be Aston Villa at the top of the league, most likely. Really think about that.
No, Villa, the cards didn't fall well for Stevie at Villa. And it's made it look even worse his tenure at Villa because Emery picked up the reins from him. But
Yeah.
I can't remember Gary Neville ever being offered a Premier League manager's job. Can you? But Stevie was.
It was Diego Costa, by the way. Norm is helping you out a little bit with that.
That's him. Diego Carlos, the centre half. Stevie's last signing, who did come in and play a bit of a part last season with Emery. And he was quite good, but he's always injured. It was that guy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Red Arm Spurs saying they had, I think he's saying, I just lost it right here. That was a good team. They had Paul McGrath too. I think he's talking about the past team, not the last year's team. Leeds, by the way, is the 5th best team in the Premier League when it comes to form. That's worth noticing. Yeah, it is worth noticing. We got them coming up at Anfield, which is going to be it's going to be a game that we have to get points back, but we have to set a precedent.
We have to defend properly, is what I'll say about that game, because we didn't at Ellen Road.
Yeah. Big up to Grain House. Yeah, big up. Liverpool legend in herself, definitely. Big up to the streets. The streets have arrived. Shout out to you and your family. Definitely. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Maybe Steven Gerrard could turn it around, but I think he has to go the long way, as Frank Lampard did, to find his way back to football. It's an interesting way of putting it. I can see why you would say something like that.
Nope, all the best managers were shit players. It's a thing. The only good player who became a good manager I can think of is Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why it's going to be an interesting run. You know why I brought up I think that Emery's a good coach. That's why. And I've often said that he's sometimes if it wasn't for his inability to master the English language, early on in his Arsenal days, especially, that was a major roadblock in why he wasn't able to possibly make a connection with the fans, because a lot of times job security comes from the way that you present yourself to the fans as well, like how you're able to ingratiate yourself to them and the likes.
That was a strange period in Arsenal's history when they got Emery as coach. And he couldn't stand him straight away. It was like he was on a hiding to nothing with the Arsenal fans.
Mm-hmm. This was a stat that
have they improved under Arteta? I'm not that sure. They haven't won anything yet.
They haven't really, other than the
FA Cup. They haven't been to a European final yet under Arteta. They went to one under Emery.
Yeah, they won an FA Cup, so I'll give them credit for that. But they still. It's a unique situation. It's like, when I hear the gals and the likes of the Arsenal fan base that are really, really bullish on the man on the right of this graphic, they often bring up the fact that he won them an FA Cup. And then they leave out the fact that team ended up in 8th place. And then he had another team end up in 8th place once again. So it wasn't like, it was just that one year they ended up in 8th place. They ended up in 8th place twice. And I think that was like the lowest. That was the lowest they've ever ended up in the Premier League era, I believe, or something like that. It's something to the extent. And that says something. Now, I'm not saying that he hasn't made leaps and bounds towards his to where he's at now, but this was like the 50. They ranked the 50 games. I saw this, and you can see 50 games. Emery was, better in all regards to it. Goals scored, goals conceded. Was certainly a little bit on Arteta's side, but Arteta's more of a defensive-minded coach than he is than offensive when it comes to offense. But you can see like a lot of the points difference and everything else. It was just an interesting conversation. It's just that I just think Emery's a better coach than Arteta. But you know what? For the better, for the worst, I can't say enough to say that I'm happy that Emery's no longer with Villa, or excuse me, with the Arsenal, because, you know, who knows if they'd given the time for him to get the team together, if they'd given the players the amount of money investment that they gave Arteta, you know, maybe they would have not only a good coach, but they also have a good team to be coached by that good coach. And
what do you think the difference was between the two coaches when they were hired by Arsenal? Do you think the difference was that Arteta had played for Arsenal a few times?
I think it was. I honestly think it was the language barrier that he presented, because there's, you know, it's difficult when you can't get your point across, and you can't, you know, sway the fan base to at least appreciate what you're doing with the team, as opposed to, you know, be so quick to be sack the manager, sack the manager, you know. That's the easy result. That's the easy thing. But I mean, there's many parts to it. It's the same. It's very similar to this year, as in I haven't gone to slot out. I'm not necessarily slot in, but I'm not slot out. I was just more so, I'm a person that is going to support what you said earlier. I'm going to support the manager, regardless of whoever is the manager. I'm going to support that person, and I'm going to allow for the sense, or at least allow for the reasoning of being, it's the manager has a big portion of the blame, and it should always start with the manager first, because the manager is the boss. But the players have to take on responsibility and accountability as well. And if you can't separate the players and say, oh, they have no part or no play in our current fortunes. You know, and I think that's the one thing.
Today's game, you can't do that in today's game, can you? Because players have a lot of say in today's game, like more than they've ever had. So you know, you can't claim that, can you? Like, really, in modern football, like, you know, the players aren't fucking do what the manager wants. And, you know, the players do what they want a lot of the time, like, and they've got to take the manager's instructions on board with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these players are comparable enough to be able to, you know, handle the task that they're given. And I think that if they're going to allow for themselves to get too wrapped up in their emotions, that's when you can end up with what we ended up with against Spurs, and some might even say at moments against Wolves. But, you know, because again, our set piece, this is Red Armchair supporters saying, our set piece weakness is our Achilles heel this year. And unfortunately, we were decent at set pieces last year, but this year you can't. It's like I don't want to like rush to be like, oh, he needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. But I mean, like, you know, there are people that need to buck up, or there will be replacements on the way, because our set piece manager, or our set piece coach has been woeful this year with getting our team to be dialed in and really appropriate when it comes to our set pieces. Let me just bring in these questions or these statements, and then we're going to move on to the next segment. Tyler says, I think you are 100% right. Arsenal isn't the easiest club when it comes to culture and fans to be a manager in. Many fans at Arsenal look like they thrive in misery. Yes, that's certainly true. They're like a Stephen King book, certainly, you know. Excellent book, by the way, if you ever get a chance to read Misery. Excellent book. Crazy book. Nem says facts. They says Red Armchair supporter saying our set piece weaknesses are undermining us all season. And Norm says recruitment has to be blamed also. It's their job to bring in center halves, which they failed at last minute, and also a DM, which has been a failure of whoever has been in recruitment over the past 6 years. I'll ask you this question before we move on, since that's a good point, by the way. Norm said something about recruitment, and I can understand where he's spot on with what he's saying, but there is a level of recruitment that we want to see our team accomplish, correct? And what I mean by that is, you can honestly, they have, for instance, this point about for the last 6 years, we've tried to get a DM in place. Okay. we did bring one DM. I want to give a shout out to my guy Endo, and I know that Norm's not taking a shot at Endo at all. I know that most of our chat, if not all of our chat, gives proper respects to Endo, but we can all understand where and why he was purchased and brought in, and what his role was going to be. I understand that, but I'll take the question a little bit or one more step, and that is this: over the past 5-6 years, we've tried to get a DM in, and over those 5-6 years, we've gone for out of all those years, we went for possibly the best DM in the world at that time, and even went with the backup in Lavia at that one moment. But I mean, we went for Tuchimeni. We've gone for obviously Caicedo. We even went for Lavia. We even went for Zubamendi. So unfortunately, those DMs chose to go for whether it was more money or whether it was a better, whether in their mind it was for a better team. Obviously, we don't think that as well, but we have gone for DMs. We just haven't been successful. We just haven't been successful of it. All right. So what I mean, I know that you're possibly going to grab a tea or something, but hopefully you heard some of what I said. Looking at if the chat wants to, I would love to hear what the chat thinks about what I had to say, and then we'll move on. I've got a bunch of good segments to roll into. But yeah, were any of you disappointed with the targets that we had? At least, were you disappointed? We didn't, obviously, at one point we thought we had Caicedo, wrapped up, and it ended up falling apart. Lavia, because we showed interest in Caicedo, ended up pulling out of a deal as well. But interestingly enough, he ended up going to the same team with the player that's going to, have an impact on whether he gets playing time too, which is a strange move. What's your ideas in the chat? You can tell me. And like I said, this show is definitely, especially with the OGs out there, this show is hosted by a panel, but it's also hosted by you as well. You guys are involved in the conversation.
I love the missed signings, Zubamendi. It was a signing we wanted, a signing most of the fan base wanted at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to pose the question, would we have won the league if we'd have bought him, if we'd have tried to play him in a different midfield setup for last season? Would it have happened? Possibly. It might have happened. It didn't. I really wanted him. I'm gullible like that. If a good player is available and Liverpool want him, then I want him too. I'm okay. The men who make the decisions want him. I really wanted them, but it's unsure, isn't it? If we won the league, if we would have brought Zubamendi in last summer.
Yeah, what's interesting too is if we'd bought Zubamendi in, would we have relied on Gravenberch as a DM going on beyond that, or would we have transitioned him into a different role on the team possibly? Some people want to move him back up into being an attacking midfielder as opposed to a defensive midfielder. It's a lot of questions.
What I enjoy is we can actually ask these questions as a team who are champions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been champions a couple of times recently, and more times than most.
Yes.
These are the questions that we ask ourselves. If we'd have bought Zubamendi, would we have won the title? Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe. Let's see. Hyler said Caicedo is the one that got away. Bloody brilliant these days. Agree. It's a question. Hyler, question to you. Do you think that Caicedo is holding Enzo up currently? As in he's the reason why that tandem of theirs looks good, or is it Enzo has been putting in some shifts himself, maybe in your mind, and it's or is it a combination of the two?
I think they're both
Norm,
putting in shifts, aren't they? Enzo and Caicedo. He's a player I would have loved. Again, like the Zubamendi thing. Like, it was like, please, please let us get him. Please let us get him.
right.
But it didn't happen, and we won the title anyway. And, that shit he done, like, on Gravenberch, like, in the Carabao Cup final, like, when he knew that we were the better team and were likely to win the game. That foul he did on Gravenberch, Caicedo. That just tells me that, like, we did the right thing.
Yeah. Norm says he agrees with me. He says, but as a club, we would not just have that one in particular on the list. Like Gehi should have not gone to last day, and they should have moved on to the next target earlier. Hyler says, that said, the development of Gravenberch is almost unheard of in quality. Too bad the responsible person at our club for that development isn't a part of our club anymore. Okay, I agree. I understand what you're trying to get at there. Norm also said he doesn't question ambition to get the best, but it's not always possible to get the first choice. Like now, if we can't get Gehi, we must surely be trying for someone else. I like that we are patient. Red Armchair Supporter says, Norm, we're quite good at getting signings early, so I don't think they'd have waited. They'd have wanted the Gehi one going that late, just the way it worked out, he supposes. It's a very interesting question. I mean, January is a month that we do some of our best work in January when it comes to recruitment. We've had some great signings. I was going to do a show on, even see if the chat even is interested in it, but I was going to do a show on our January. I was going to take all of our Premier League signings in January and see how and see where we rate them. We have varying forms of like impact of the club when they came to the club, blah, 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 those kinds of things. Not just, oh, he's just a good player or he's just a great player and he's better than this person or that person. I'm just talking about what their impact was with our team. So that might be something, if you guys are interested, we would put together a show like that. But
we've had a lot of good January signings, and it is palpable nonsense to say that we can't sign a good player this January. There's nobody available. There are players available. We've just got to know who they are.
Yeah. I mean, I agree too. We, VVD, Diaz, Cody, they were all January. They're just been late. Some of our late great signings. Also, I think Suarez was purchased in January.
Yeah, that's just recent years.
Yeah,
that's just recent years.
Yeah,
my favorite January signing wasn't actually signed in January. It was February, and that was Nigel Spachman in 1987. And he come in and plays a great part in our title-winning team of 87-88. And he was still here in 89-90. He was my favourite one. I was only a little kid then, like I was about 13 or something. I'd stayed up all night for some reason watching films. And in the morning, Breakfast TV came on. And Breakfast TV said, Liverpool have signed Nigel Spachman, and showed you the still of him in his Chelsea kit. I was like, get in. I didn't, to be honest, like, I had no real opinion of him then. But then after he'd been here and won trophies and that, I was fucking made up. And that was my best one that I can remember from when I was a kid. Was Nigel Spachman.
You know what? You know what's difficult too? Again, I know I said we'd move on. I don't want to get too hunkered down in this topic, but I think what's unique about it, and I agree, and I'm and to the chat, what you've heard me say before, I'm focused on getting a center half and a DM, if not two center halves, maybe in this, maybe not in this January window, but certainly getting in this January plus the summer, we have to have two additional players, two different center halves, regardless of whether we sign Konate or not to an extension. And then I'd even go as far as to say we need a DM, because I would like to see Gravenberch get some quality, get some real quality backup at DM. considering this coach tends to not rely or give the trust in Endo to be able to hold it down, to give us a different look at DM for whatever reason it is his own, he just doesn't do it. So, if you're not going to play the player, then at least bring in a player that you're going to play, because there's no point in having a player just collecting checks every week. But
there has to be signings out there. If we can't find a centre back to sign, like when the window opens, then I give up. Yeah. There must be a centre back out there that we can sign. We need 3, but 1 will do for now.
Yeah,
1 will do for now. 1 or 2 in the summer, but 1 for now is a must, isn't it? Like the way things are at the moment.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at it like I would love to see us go for. I would love to see us go for a center half. I don't think we're going to get Gahey. I know that's being talked about as being revisited in the January window, despite the fact of Crystal Palace making it pretty well known that they want to keep the player as a Crystal Palace player, at least until the summer. But and the player also has put it out there that if he was to move, he'd now have to have a better deal to accommodate himself for the fact that he would prefer to wait for that, to be able to get that loyalty bonus and signing bonus and all that kind of stuff established. But it's one that we'll see. I'm sorry. Say what you want to say, and then I'm going to pivot.
There's quite a few contenders, isn't there? Like we're talking about Xhaka, promising centre-backs. Then there's centre-backs that we really like, but maybe not possible in January. But somebody like Xhaka, I mean, if we don't buy him...
Yeah, no, Xhaka would be a good signing, but Xhaka is not going to be a signing that we implement into the team and we say, oh, that gets us to being back into title contenders or something. I think he definitely would be a
no. We're only talking about bodies at the moment to see us through till May, aren't we?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. But then again, if we hadn't purged our youth academy and the players that we had started to transition into maybe being Liverpool players, maybe we'd have a better presentation to be saying we could just bring in players from our youth academy. But our youth academy has been pretty much, siphoned through. There's people out there talking about we need a DM. And I promise you, I will move off of the subject after this statement.
No, centre-back's always a tough position to bring through, like from the ranks, you know what I mean? To bring through a viable centre-back who'll be able to start games immediately. Right. I mean, we did okay to moving Nat Phillips and Reece Williams. We managed to still qualify for the Champions League, but you know what I'm saying? It's not going to come from within the ranks like a centre-back, I don't think. So we're going to have to spend some money in January.
Yeah, and I do get that. Maybe just lose my train of thought on who I was going to bring up, but I do get that. Let me just double check and see what I was going to say. I just think that there has been a lot of people out there that have said we need a DM or we need center half or we need this, we need that, and I don't dispute that at all. It was, I'm trying to think of who I was thinking of. But you know who I was thinking of is unique. I mean, look, as much as people are saying we need a DM, we had a DM. Possibly not the one that we wanted to see, but Tyler Morton could be a player that we could certainly utilize at the DM. He's done exceptional in France. He's possibly going to make another, some might say a progressive move up in team status or team prestige, in that he's looking at Juventus is looking heavily at trying to bring the player into Juventus. Tyler Morton would be a fantastic player to at least utilize as a backup to what we have now, I think, and it's unfortunate that our coach, under Tyler Morton's own words, really never gave him a chance. So it's, again, I'm not trying to throw our coach under the bus, but I personally don't like the way that our coach goes about sometimes the treatment of players on our team and giving players an opportunity, if not a really vested chance at performing, while at the same time going to out of form players and allowing for them to try to find form. That's disappointing. But all right, let's get into this next section, because this next segment is something very personal to all of us. And it is certainly something that I wanted to definitely bring up and give proper praise to, because this player is a player that is beloved by all of us. Liverpool and Wolves paid tribute to Diogo Jota on an emotional day at Anfield, their first meeting since his passing. Jota, 28, was killed in a car crash in Spain in July. We all know that, but alongside his brother, Andre Silva. I think the details for most of us were heartbreaking, but this sign of just appreciation for their father was a beautiful one at the same time. Two of his children, Dennis and Duarte, joined as mascots. His sons and young family members led the team out, you can see, ahead of Virgil van Dijk. His wife, Ruth Cardoso, was in attendance as well. Cop held up a banner, as you can see, reading Diogo Jota, forever in our hearts. Wolves fans sang his name, which was very beautiful. They sang his name on the 18th minute because that was his number with Wolves, and then Liverpool joined in with their song for him on the 18th minute, and then Anfield stood and applauded in the 20th minute, and then it was very, very unique. And there's just something that I noticed, at least because I'm into the numerology thing gets to me sometimes. And I know that if we had JK, he probably would be saying this and dropping some astrological symbol or sign behind it. But Gravenberch scored and dedicated, obviously, the goal to him, recreating the shark celebration that Jota did. But what was unique about it was the fact that he scored. Gravenberch's number is number 38, right? Just go with me on a second. Go with me for a second. Ryan Gravenberch's number is number 38. If you were to add up 20 and 18 together, you would get 38. It was kind of weird. Some of those things are, I know someone's like, oh, that's coincidence, or oh, it's this or that.
I think there's something in that. I think there's definitely something in that, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was a lovely thing, the celebration from Ryan, wasn't it? Like, because you associate that with Diogo, and anyone who's ever had a goal scored against their club by Diogo remembers that was one of his favourite celebrations. So it was just a nice moment, that, and this beforehand, like with the kids coming on the pitch and that. It was a nice moment. I mean, it is easy to forget sometimes, like, in life and just, football, whatever in general, like, but no, we won't forget Diogo, like, we never will. It was some of the finishes, like, that he did, if I can take it into there, that arena. It was some of the finishes that he did was just fucking absurd. And one of my favourite matches ever for Jota, remembering him, was Arsenal away. It was only in the Carabao Cup, and it wasn't that big a deal, like beating Arsenal in the Carabao Cup early on. And we went away, and he scored 2 goals that won us the game. I think it was 2-1. And it was just, both of them were just beautiful, mate, in their own way. Everything's beautiful in its own way. But Diogo's 2 finishes at the Emirates that night were, like, beautiful in their own way. It was just a brilliant game, that.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful moment. And when I noticed that, I guess I did think of JK, and like I said, because I know he's into numbers and numerology, and I know he goes even further with astrology. Big up JK, by the way, joining us.
Hi, man. How you doing, bros?
But we were just mentioning how number 38, Ryan Gravenberch, scored the goal And if you do add up 20 and 18, which are his former numbers in the Premier League, one being representing for 18 for Wolves and 20 for obviously Liverpool, they equal up to 38.
38. Hold on.
There you go. There you go. But let me give hold on one second. I just got a message.
I'll just say hi to Norman and Red Armchair as well. How you doing, man? And Gene. Nice to see you, Gene.
No,
yeah, Gene's here.
Strange the way numbers play out like that, but he was such a great player for us. Like it was the injuries and stuff, like, wasn't it? Like kept him off the pitch as much as he should have been. Like, but when we see him here, some of his finishes was just it's like the type of finish you would like to do if only you could play football. Some of his finishes was just outrageous. That's one of the memories I'll carry forward, like, of Diogo, like his outrageous finishes.
Yeah. Obviously, he had an incredible. I think it was his numbers were pretty exceptional. I think he had 65 goals, 182 appearances, plus FA Cup, FL, obviously League Cup goals in 2022, and the Premier League title. Obviously, our last number 20, by the way.
Do you remember his goal?
There's numbers in that get.
Do you remember Diogo's goal in the 0-5 demolition of Man United at Old Trafford, which is my favourite ever? Man United beating the 7-0 was good, you know what I mean? But that 0-5 at Old Trafford was just like hilarious, and Diogo's finish was just like sweet as a nut within that game.
Yeah, with Jota, there was so many. He has some great goals, by the way. He has some really great goals, and everyone always considered him one of the best finishers on our team. Certainly, it is difficult sometimes when you do go into some of these games, though, and there's so much buildup and there's so much attention being drawn to something that you want to properly praise and give respect to, because they do have to go out there and actually perform a game. But this was unique in that Wolves had some. I mean, a good number of the Wolves player possibly didn't play with Jota since it had been that long since he had played with them. But they can already see what kind of presence and what kind of a player he was with the club. And the sheer fact that the Wolves were still, still so connected to the player says something about the player. You have to agree with that, I think.
I was genuinely scared of Diogo when he played for Wolves. Like, he was a player that I did not want to see in the opposing team because I thought, this fucker will probably score. Yeah. And then he came to Anfield, and carried on the theme. You know what I mean?
I thought, what's wild is that I think a lot of us, when we heard the news, because it was out of nowhere. It wasn't like there was a long list of reports being presented in the news media saying we're going after Jota type situation. It was one of those things where it was kind of left field that we ended up picking up Jota as the player, and shout out to the recruitment department for that, and Jurgen Klopp being obviously mindful or involved in that process. I think that was looking back on that, I think that he was certainly a gem to have gotten. Even because I know a lot of people were saying, I think he spent like around 40 million for the player at the time or something around there. I think people are like, "Oh, that's way too much," or "What are we doing?" And I was just like, "Wait and see."
Yeah, but I didn't like when Jota came in. I was surprised. It wasn't a player I thought we would go after. You know what I mean? He was good at Wolves. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think he was that good at Wolves that he could play for Liverpool at that time. Then when he came to Liverpool, I was like, that's what I like about certain players who come, because like Ekitike. No one can tell me anything really about Ekitike. No Liverpool fan really. You know what I mean? Right. So every time he plays, I find out something new from him. And that's what I like about him. And Jota was that type of signing for me. Like, I was like, okay.
Isn't it?
Recruitment-wise,
Yeah.
Oh no,
One of my
recruitment-wise.
things-
No, wait. Please let JK finish.
I was going to say,
then I'll let you-
recruitment-wise, under Klopp, we got it like nearly 9 out of 10 got it right, you know. Hence why when Jota came in, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Then I started seeing him, how he started playing, and I was like, whoa, nice top player, man. So, but I love Jota. For me, the goal I remember Jota for, you remember when we beating Tottenham 3-0, and then they came back to 3-3?
I do, Jay.
And that one, and then Jota pops up and scores, makes it 4-3, and he does the computer game celebration. I'll remember him for that goal.
One of the things I remember most about Diogo is like the amount of horrible tackles that he endured, the amount of times that he was like a marked man and got fucking nailed by opposition defenders or midfielders, mate. You know, falling on him and that, like that. No guy falling on him on purpose because he's a dangerous player, mate. And that's when you know you've got a great. It's like Maradona. Have you seen some of the tackles Maradona's endured? Like when he was a great player, it was like that with Diogo. They were all out to fucking get him, mate. You know what I mean? And one of those tackles actually cost him his life, like the depressed lung thing.
Yeah,
why he was driving instead of flying or whatever. Do you know what I mean? He was just like you couldn't get near him. Basically, like, and that annoys players that are as good and want to get near.
He used to destroy Arsenal on a regular. I think that was his favourite team to score against.
Yeah, it was. He was an Arsenal menace. That year, 2020, was the year we brought in Simicast. We also brought in 2 center halves that year. It was in the January window. I'm sure everyone knows those 2 players. The hologram, formerly known as Ben Davies, and Ozan Kabak. Yes, he plays center back. And we also had an absolutely exquisite player join us. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stay healthy, but that was the year we brought Diogo in as well. Alcantara. So, excuse me.
I think this has been a good eulogy for Diogo anyway. He was such a brilliant player that like others could not deal with it. Other players could not deal with it. Like, and had to hurt him to try and stop him.
And he was cheeky with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was cheeky with it. There was a couple of goals where I was just like, oh, that's saucy, you know?
His headers were saucy. I was always shit at headers when I played football. But he knew how
to being one of the smallest players too. Yeah, exactly.
Small man, he knew exactly. It was just it's your jump and how you what's it called? What's that word? Timing. He had timing in his jump, didn't he, for headers? Timing,
he was good at headers.
angles.
And the thing is, I always said, Jota for me is the best street footballer, looking footballer. You know what I mean? Like when I see him play, it's like. You'll go down the park and you will see a guy like him just skin everyone and score all the time. You know what I mean? He looks like that type of footballer for me. That's why I liked him. He was raw. He weren't like you didn't know what he's gonna do. Like he ain't like a robotic type of footballer. He was a bit of a street type of footballer,
like a street player, like some of the best Brazilian players. Like he was like that. Wasn't he?
He remind me of like a futsal? I think it's called, right? Isn't that what?
Yeah, futsal. Yeah.
He might like at times because you got to have it's a smaller pitch that you're on, or playing field that you're on, so you got to have like really tight skills to be like Neymar, for instance, is a fantastic futsal player. Like he's played in the league a couple of times, and it's like it's because he's got such incredible ball control, be able to dribble, be able to have adept touch, the whole nine. But
yeah, let's get into this. It annoys lesser players, doesn't it? Like that's why you got the treatment. He got he got some bloody treatment, Diogo, for us. Sometimes when he played on the left and that, like it was a bit different. He didn't get as many hard knocks, but when he was going through the middle, like the amount of bad tackles that he endured was just like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that Semenyo deal, I'm holding off from talking about that only because they're trying to hijack it last minute type situation. Or there's been word that Man City wasn't necessarily his top choice per se, as in like he would just prefer to go to Liverpool, but Manchester City has presented him a more lucrative deal that has made them more appealing. So it's one of those situations. I don't think Semenyo makes us go from B to A or whatever you want to call it, the way that some people are putting it, but they will do well for them. So I wanted to get into these ratings real quick because I know we're an hour in. I definitely want to make sure that I get all the segments in today. So before I have to tune out or tune off. Liverpool made its 3 straight wins, unbeaten 7 in all comps, but it wasn't comfortable. I think we can all agree on that. Let's do a quick ratings run in here and do it as best as we can do it here. And that's starting with Ali in goal. Solid. Was unlucky on the rebound for that goal. I think he stood tall, but I mean, like, it's difficult when you punch out a rebound that just happens to fall at the feet of your opposition. I'll give Ali a 7 out of it for his efforts, though. What would you have given Ali, Lee?
I'll give him a 7, but I've looked at that bit where he saved it back into the fellas thing. And he could have put it somewhere else, couldn't he? God love him. He could have put it somewhere else instead of into Bueno's gate.
Okay. So you think you have done more of it? Okay, I got you. So you give him a 7. What are you giving him, JK?
Yeah, that's cool.
7. Okay. All right. Easy done.
Triple 7.
All right.
I love you, Alan, but do better next time. Punch it out to a weird angle at the side, so no one can just boot it into the net.
Could have caught it.
Yeah, he could have caught it, possibly. Frimpong, I always prefer to try to catch it, but
because if it drops in your hand, it drops. You know what I mean? But at least,
right?
If you get it, you get it.
I'll include the other scores that we are starting to siphon in right now. Hylor gave him a 6.5. Norm gave him a 7. Red Archer supporter gave him a 7 as well. You're more than welcome to give scores, whether you're listening to us on X or watching us on X, or if you're, obviously watching us on YouTube. If you're on X and that's the only way that you watch the show, drop by on YouTube, give us a subscribe and a thumbs up or something like that. Would be greatly appreciated. Gene Gray's giving them a 7 as well. Okay. How about for Frimpong? We'll go from right to left. We'll go Frimpong first. I thought Frimpong played pretty well in this game, to tell you the truth. I saw a segment on Frimpong, by the way. We're not set on Frimpong. It was I'll have to think of the player, but it was a player that was extremely pacey, and he was asked all these different questions of like who he thought was, faster than him. He's like, it was one of those things where it's like, say the guy's name when you think that player is faster than the one person. And he went through all these different players. I mean, Traore was in there. I'm trying to think, like Ekitike, all these different players. And Frimpong was rated as being the one with the most pace. He is a speed demon and a half to have to deal with, which is pretty exceptional. But I'll have to look for it. I'll share it with you and hopefully with the chat at some time, the clip. But Frimpong, for you.
We know this stuff anyway, 12. We know this stuff anyway. Frimpong's a speed demon, and he's going to demonize a lot of defenses. Once we get our form righted.
Yeah. Frimpong has 2 assists in a row now, which is big. It looks like 7.5, maybe 7.75. I'll say it like that because Gene's saying either 7.5 to an 8, so I'll go right in the middle. 7.5. It seems like everyone's going with a solid 7.5. I gave him a 7. I gave him a 7. I was just going for whole numbers, but a C, let's say. Norm went with a 7 as well. Hyler thinks he's a little bit of an enigma. Okay. What would you say for Frimpong? What do you want to give him as a rating?
What I've seen so far is very encouraging, and I think he could do big things in this league, with the skill set he's got and with what we need as a team. Time will only tell, but I'm getting really excited by his appearances in the team of late, this is what we're waiting for. Yep. This is what we're waiting for. It's only a bit of injuries kept him out the team so far, and to be honest, the effect he's had in the few bare minutes that he's been on the pitch of late has been very encouraging.
Yeah.
So I say.
Agreed. What was your rating? What's your rating?
Okay, I'll give him a 7. I don't dare go any higher than that. But
okay,
there's more to come. There's more to come.
Certainly so. Yeah, Frimpong, pace, byline, action, created the opener. Obviously, you got to give him credit because he gives versatility to our team. It was an interesting substitution. We saw Frimpong get moved to the front line and played in the right wing position for a little while of that game. How about for Ibu? What would you have given Ibu? Good front foot defending, but once again beaten in the build-up for their goal. What are you going to give from Konate? I gave him a 6, and that's possibly because we won the game. If we'd lost or drawn, I'd probably give him a 5. I know that shouldn't affect too many people's ratings, but
no, I didn't think much of Ibu, and I think we should replace him ASAP. So I'll give him a 6 for this.
Okay. 6 it is. 5.5 from Hylor, a 6 from Jean Grey. 6 from Retro LFC, aka Norm. Let's see. Okay. How about for Van Dijk? How about for Virgil? Oh, Red Armchair Supporter gave him a 5.5. Wow. Okay. How about for Virgil? He had one shaky pass, I'll admit, but was busy in the second half. I gave Van Dijk a 6 as well.
No, at its bare minimum, that was a 7 from Virgil. The people around him couldn't, get up to his vibe, could they, or lift themselves. So I'll give him a 7 for his efforts.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
The guy's a fucking icon.
Wow. Hyler says he will go as far as saying that Konate makes Van Dijk worse at his job. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be a twat on Ibu, but I am done with him now, as far as being asked for that. I am done with him now. We need to buy someone better. I think his mind's gone, or whatever it is, it's gone. Whatever he had last season, it isn't here now.
It's not here. No.
Let the guy go, replace him.
How about VVD got a 7 from Hylor, got a 6.5 from Jean Grey, got a 7 from Red Armchair Supporter. I think that's all of the ones. Norm gave him a 7 as well. Okay. Come on, everyone. I guess I was being harsh. I gave him a 6. What'd you give VVD?
A 7, a solid 7.
Oh, wow. Look at me. I'm the one being harsh.
Come on, he's Virgil, isn't he? He's Artie.
I know.
For the longest time, the guy has actually been our team. Never mind our defense or our captain, or whatever. Like, he's been our team like for the longest fucking.
Very true. Very true.
Number
Very
7.
Okay. Kerkez, a player. Let me just say this: grafted both ways. Had energy and made some really good tackles. Definitely lifted the crowd. I thought this was possibly one of Kerkez's best performances in a Liverpool kit. That being said, I still am going to give him a 7, but nothing higher than a 7, maybe 7.5 at most. But I thought Kerkez played well in this game. He played decent.
I'm a fan of your train of thought. Well, Kerkez was really good in this, like, for them. Like, he's been so far, it's not been brilliant, like, but the last 3 games, like, he's a man on a mission, isn't he? Like, it's improving daily with Kerkez, like, and that's where we're going with him. He's a good signing, and he'll prove a good signing. And he's in the last few games, like, I think he's been fucking excellent in the last few games. And I was like banging the Robbo drum a lot, like the other day, going, yeah, Robbo. But now I think Kerkez, fuck it, stick him in, keep him in, get him like, what's that word? Experienced in the Liverpool thing.
I think he's got to be conditioned.
Play the man, he'll get better.
He's got to be conditioned to being able to play more than one game a week, which is what he was used to playing at Bournemouth, albeit we're no longer in the League Cup, but still we're going to have Champions League games. Hopefully we'll go deep, if not all the way to the finals for the FA Cup. So those things are important for him. Norm says what he knows Saturday is Konate is affecting Virgil and Ali because they don't have confidence in passing the ball to him.
It isn't that.
6.5
it's not like
to 7.
All right, let's get on my nerves. It's just defending bits where he's meant to defend. And that goal for fucking
you're dropping
it was that team we played last goal. Wolves. I mean, where the fuck was he for that fucking goal?
You're dropping a lot of F-bombs today. What is up with that?
Sorry, but where was he for that goal for them? It was like Ekitike, he was the closest one to it, and then that fella jumped up and headed it, and Ebu fell over and put his hands on his head, and that was like,
that was it.
Please go away.
Please. Yeah. Jean Grey gave him a 6.5 to a 7, which is Kerkez at least. 7.5 from Red Armchair Supporter. He has some very good stats. Hylor says, Kerkez 7. He has been more stabilizing in his performance. I think he's been more confident in his performance, maybe having a little bit better understanding of what he's expected to do. Just as he said the same thing, actually. He just said maybe because he understands his position and responsibility better in the team. Nice. Hylor and I thinking alike. That's interesting. Gene thinks that we're going to be moving on to Gravenberg next, actually, so I'll save that comment. Kerkez is now more on hand when needed to provide an option or bounce a pass down the left. Now needs a few more attacking contributions to build up his newfound solidity. Oh, good. Agreed. How about for
the solidified thing defensively is here? So, he's getting in on it like any Kerkez is getting in on it. He'll provide goals later, latterly, but at the moment, he's just like trying to find his way in our defense, isn't he?
Yeah. I noticed, he said he noticed Grav doesn't like to pass to Frimpong. Well, Grav had a little bit of a rocky moment, but scored the opener. Got to give him credit for that. I would have given Grav a 7 for his performance yesterday. I'm leaving off the 8s and 9s because I just don't think I think that most of our performance against the bottom of the table team at home, we need to perform to a higher level. I was expecting us to win this game like 3-4, 5-0 or something like that. But
it's a
I gave
table side that a lot of our rivals struggle to beat. I mean, what was Arsenal's score against Wolves?
Well, it was 3-0, but they didn't score. They had 3. It was 3-0, but it was all 3 goals were own goals though. So I think it was like 3-0 or something like that. I can look it up for you.
I know they
Arsenal.
make
It was 2-1, by the way. You're right. It was
to me,
2-1.
though. Sorry to say it, like.
It was.
Yeah, a lot of Liverpool fans don't like me saying this, like, but Arsenal look like champions to me, mate. If they're not champions, then I don't know who are at the moment. We're only at the halfway stage. The next game will trigger the halfway stage of being 19 games.
Yeah,
exactly. The Arsenal look like fucking champions to me, mate. I don't give a shit. If it pisses some people off, I don't care. Well,
no, I don't think it pisses off anyone. It's just,
do you know what? I've come round to
I might have to tell Tracy to bring over a bar so wash your mouth.
I've come round to liking Arteta lately, liking his whole thing, the whole Arsenal thing, fucking sacking Emery, and that. I like it now. So I want Arsenal to win the league, mate. Because I can't stand Man City winning it again. It's so fucking boring. They've won it so many times in recent history that I just can't contemplate seeing it again.
Okay. Red Hour Chair supporter game of 7. Gravy got a 6.5 from Norm. There you go. 7.5 from Hylor. I know. You've got a little.
Sorry.
We're gonna have to give you what was that commercial for? It had an English. It had like an English. She was blonde. She was English accent. And she was for a gum company, and she's like, and it was all about like. What was it? It was like clean. It was like about cleaning your mouth or washing your mouth out or something. And
I know it's a swear word for a Liverpool fan to say he wants Arsenal to win the league, but I'm just so bored of Man City these days.
I hear you. Yeah, you would have probably it was probably easy to forget Graf's goal because it was masked by them scoring as well, like as in the goal that they had, but. Curtis Jones, mixed passing early, worked hard into our opposition's half, but I thought Curtis Jones had an average day. I'm going to give Cujo a 6. I'll give him a 6.5 if I want to be like honest, but I'll give him a 6. What would you have given Curtis Jones? Norm's giving Curtis Jones a 5. Oof. What would you What would you have given Curtis Jones? Profanity free. What would you have given Curtis Jones? Lee,
I would give Kerkez a 7.2 for a scouse attempt or a scouse grip on a midfield game.
Okay, all right. Gene Gray gave him a 6. Yeah, it's leading towards a pretty average, if not like. CJ's early passing annoyed him, but his stats improved. Red Armchair supporter says Curtis Jones was excellent, heavily involved. The game high 125 touches. Evidence of that. He gave him a 7.5. That's a lot of touches, by the way. Red Armchair supporter gave him a 6.5. Okay. All right.
No, I am. And I think he's doing it like he's doing some good stuff to stay in the team.
Yeah. I was look, this player, Chiesa is a player that we've all campaigned to see get a start, a player that we've all seen or campaigned to not only get a start, but actually get some good minutes with this team. I know that some are going to use this as being reasoning as to why he doesn't get more starts or why he's not preferred by slot and blah, 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 blah. I know he was subbed in. He only played 61 minutes, so he got a little bit into the second half, but was I think one of the first subs. He got subbed in for Connor Bradley, and then Frimpong was put up front, and Connor was used as that right back. I'm going to say this in Federico's defense. I gave him a 5. That's probably a harsh rating. I'll give him a 5.5, actually. But he did look like a little bit of not feeling comfortable to be in the flow of the game with the other players around him. I thought that he could have done better, obviously. I'm trying to see how many touches he had. I mean, in 61 minutes, you just talked about Harlow brought up 125 touches for Curtis Jones, for instance. Federico Chiesa had 23 touches in this game. 23 touches. That's pretty wild. Now, I know that some of these other players played longer than him, but if you look at Alexi had 60 some odd touches. When it comes to Florian Wirtz, you expect him to have a lot of touches, which he did. He had 106 touches in the game. Curtis Jones, had a lot of touches. We already know how many Curtis Jones had, actually. Even Ekitike had 31 touches in this game. So it was something of a disappointing performance by Chiesa. And I'm hoping that this isn't the one where he's like, look, I gave you your chance, you blew it, and no more soup for you, basically. I hope that's not the case. I think Chiesa is one of the hardest workers on our team, and he should be rewarded as such. But I gave him a 5.5. What are you going to give him, Norm? Norm gave him a 5. Okay, I see you. What are you going to give him, Lee? Call you Norm. Oh, Chiesa worked hard. You can never take that away from him. His will and eagerness to do good, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Felt bad for Chiesa. He ran his socks off, as he does each and every time. Yeah, agreed. Lee, what you giving Chiesa?
I thought it was an excellent appearance from him. He didn't get in too much like he does as a sub, but I was happy for him to start a game, and I think I'll give him a big fat 7.5.
7.5. Wow, that's very flattering of you to do that.
Could do better and will do soon is the
for Chiesa. This is for Chiesa, right? I'll make sure
that's will do soon.
Okay, that's for Chiesa. All right. Chiesa got a 6 from Gene. I think that's all the ratings. 5 from Retro. I think this player has been maligned a little bit. I know some people think his legs have gone. Some people think that he's washed for some reason. I think the player has incredible ability. He just needs to put a couple of different good runs together, and we can see a different player in him. And that is Macca. McAllister, I thought got off to a slow start, but started to get warmed into the game, I think. I would have given McAllister a 6. What would you have given McAllister in this rating section?
7. Okay. 6 is harsh. He didn't do anything that bad, did he, to deserve a 6? The guy's got to at least get a 7. For me, anyway, that's just me. But I thought McAllister was a 7. He was, it looked like he was getting into his vibe and that, and it didn't really happen. And you could say that a lot of times lately about McAllister, but I think the good form is incoming sometime really soon from him.
Yeah.
Because God knows we need it.
Yeah. Red Archer supporter gave him a 6. Gene gave him a 6.5. And then Norm gave him a 5. So right around 6, anywhere from 5 to 6.5. Okay. Well, Florian Wirtz was obviously, for some, the player of the game. He's for some has been the player of the month. I know Ekitike definitely will make a strong run in competing with him for that honor, but it's very interesting to see who wins the Standard Chartered Player of the Week or Player of the Month, excuse me. But Flo was a threat. I think obviously he was incredible with his chance creation. Had a brilliant run, finished for his first Liverpool goal. Ended up being the winner. I'm going to give Flo an 8. I'm going to give Flo an 8. 7.8 Norm's got him at. Okay. Man of the match, says Red Armchair Supporter. Okay. Gave him an 8. High Lord gave him an 8. Jean Grey gave him an 8. What would you have given him?
I'm going to go one further and give him a 9. Because that's
give him a 9. All right. All right.
No. He didn't do as much as he could do, as he might do. But he showed signs of doing what he could do or will do for us in the future. So I'll give the guy a 9. Why shouldn't I?
Right. That's cool. All right. Then, obviously, front runner for a man of the match, I'd say. Ekitike hit the post, held up the ball really well for us, played Wirtz imperfectly. Actually, got the assist for that. I think he got the assist. Credit for the assist for that goal. What you gonna give Ekitike? I gave Ekitike, it might sound harsh, but I gave him a 7, if not a 7.5.
That is harsh. What the fuck are you talking about, mate?
Oh wow!
Hugo's got the savoir faire. We all enjoy him, mate. To give him a 7 for that, fuck it. I'm only joking. Yeah. Like me saying a 9 then for Wirtz, like it's all been good, but he is the enjoyable signing that we've had so far. We've had like fits and starts from Kerkez, from Frimpong. We've had fits and starts from Wirtz. We've had fits and starts from Isaac. But what we haven't had is fits and starts from Hugo. Hugo fucking arrived, mate. The moment he fucking arrived. Do you know what I mean? That Champions, what was it called? That fucking Charity Cup bozo site or something.
I know.
Where he did that. Mate, you could fucking see it's all there in his feet. That is a lovable player who's waiting to be loved even more and more by me. It's just brilliant. Hugo's fucking brilliant, mate. He's a boss player. He's a dead exciting player. He's a boss player.
That's his name.
He gets a cob on sometimes, like, and gets sent off or some of that bollocks. Hugo is box office, mate. I'll tell you that now.
There you go. Hugo is boss for sure. Hugo boss.
No, he's box office, isn't he, Hugo? Like, he's exactly what you want in a player.
Big up, Mark A in the house. Big up. I'm right with you, Hylor. I don't think anyone deserves a 9 in this game, only because it's Wolves, and we should be doing better against Wolves than what we ended up getting a result.
Fuck it, we won. We got 3 points. Chill out.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm with you. We should have fucked them up royally, but we didn't. We only got 3 points.
I know. We're gonna do a swear jar for Lee, and we're gonna make him put a pint or a pound every time he swears.
Hugo has been very exciting hitherto, and I think he will continue to be so as the team picks up its vibe, and gets better and that. Hugo's going to be right at the head of it, isn't he?
Right at the head of it. He'll be right there, giving them the best he can. You're right. Gene Craig gave him a 7.5. We got his 8 from Reinhard Chair Supporter. We got a 7 from Retro LFC, aka Norm. Let's see. Big up goal ratio, by the way. Big up. 7.5, 7.75. Very close to an 8, but yeah, I'd give him 7.5. for the assist alone. I thought that was well to work to have the presence of mind for Ekitike to play Wirtz in, and then Wirtz having the presence of mind and a depth of touch to be able to get to have that one extra touch to it to be able to get some space with him and that defender and then put it away. I thought was exceptional. Exceptional. All right, let's go real quick then through the subs. Let's go through the subs. Let me make sure when they got on for a second too. So I know Bradley should get a rating, but let me make sure that the others even deserve a rating, considering excuse me, considering where they got in on the game. So Cody got in 86th minute, Wirtz or Neoni in the 90th minute. I'm not going to rate Cody, and I won't rate Neoni because they didn't play that long. So Connor Bradley's the only player I'm going to give a rating for. He, I think, played well. He shored up that right back position for us. Made a really big tackle, by the way, in the game. 7 for Connor. What are you going to give? What would you give us for Bradley?
Connor, yeah, it was good. That was all good. That he's back in the team. I give Connor a 7.
7. Yeah, it looks like it was 7s all around. Hylor 7, Gene 7, Red Armchair Supporter gave him a 7. All right, yeah, looks like we're getting 7s all around for him. 6.5, okay, for Norm. Norm's giving him a 6.5. I thought Bradley played well, though. Man of the match, all right. Or before we go to man of the match, give me your slot rating. What was your rating for slot in this game?
Arnie.
Yeah.
Fastest milkman in the West. Arnie.
Pause.
No, that
I don't know
doesn't
if you want that. That doesn't work well, dude. Don't say it like that.
Funny. Arnie. He drove the fastest milk cart in the West. No, Arnie, he's trying to hold on to his job, isn't he? So I'll give him a solid 7.5 for this latest effort.
7.5 for Arnie Slot.
The fastest milkman in the West.
Wow, I want to see these ratings. I want to see what ratings our chat gives them. Slot either a 7 or a 6.5. Retro or Norm gave him a 6.8. I would have given him a 6.5. I would have given him a 6.5.
Tough crowd.
It is a tough crowd. You know why? Because I just think that a 2-1 victory against Wolves, a Wolves team that has played absolutely horrible all year. They've got 10 straight losses, or at least more 10 plus straight losses. Okay, I mean, it'd be one thing if we're at playing them at Wolves, but at Anfield, we've got to put in goals. Got to do better with it. And I think if anything, by now we should have something figured out for our set pieces. That's just, you just can't overlook that. But quickly, man of the match for you. Who's your man of the match? I think you know mine.
That's a hard choice. Out of that, I'll say Hugo.
Okay, you going Hugo? I'm going with the man himself. Got his debut goal, Mr. Flo. 1 shot, 1 goal, 2 shots, 3 chances created, 7 successful take-ons, 9 touches in the opposition box. He's one of only 4 players with 30-plus chances created and 20-plus successful take-ons in the Premier League this season. For all those saying, doing all those stats of 00 this and 00 that, Flo has been flowing quite some bit. The goals, the assists, they will come. But for Flo, he has been playing very, very well and been very contributional to our team, I think. It's not that it's Wolves or is 2-1. It's the fact that we were so poor in the second half. Okay. Dropping a little retro action goal ratio when we played them in 2025. I see that. Arnie, good first half, bad second half. Red Armchair Supporter gave him a 6.5. So let's see, 6.8, 7, 6.8 from Norm, 7 from Jean Grey, or 6.5. 5.5 from Hylor, 6.5 from Red Armchair Supporter. Wolves have 2 points in the league, 2 draws, and 16 losses for a negative 29 goal deficit. That's just horrific. And Wolves have contended at being a mid-level team at least for some time too. So Flo's getting it. Red Armchair Supporters getting it. Red Armchair Supporters giving it to giving the man of the match to Wirtz. Jean Grey gave the MOTM to Flo. Norm Wirtz, Hylor Wirtz. Yeah, it's got to be the man who finally got his goal. We can talk about tactics all day and formations, but we need to get this lad Wirtz in and around the opposition box as much as we can. Hey, I agree with that. I think that we've got to flow through Flo. That's my saying. We've got to let your love flow. There you go.
We always do that as well. We're Liverpool fans. There is only love here.
That's right. There you go. Let's do this. Let's go into. I did have some top 10 takeaways, top 10 things that I took away from the game, but I'm going to make that into an actual short. So I'll make it into a short that you guys can see at some other time, because I also I know we're already on an hour and 37 minutes. So I wanted to make sure that we got through all this stuff because I wanted to talk about Flo. I wanted to talk about Florian Wirtz. I mean, even rivals can't ignore this any longer. You might hear them talking about 009 or 0018 or whatever it is, wherever it was. I shared with my group chat a stat or a pathetic approach by DR Sports to put out a stat that Florian Wirtz hasn't had a goal contribution against 10 men or against 11 men yet this season. And I was just like, what the heck is that? Who makes that stat up? That is just trying to prolong it a little bit. DR Sports, obviously the birth child of a Arsenal supporter, but all the same, they're supposed to cover all the sports and the likes. That was pretty lame, if you ask me. It's pretty pathetic of an attempt to try to, trying to lessen his contribution or his achievement against Spurs, where he got the assist. But there was something that I wanted to point out, and this is again by Gary Lineker and Shearer and Micah Richards. They do a show. I think it's I'm go blank on the name. They do a show together. I think it's all football or something. I think it's called or something. Do you know what I'm talking about, Lee? No, yes, no.
No, I've seen that. I've seen that podcast. Yeah, it's
all about football or something. It's something to that extent. I'm sure someone in the chat will tell us what it's called. But in all due respect, by the way, for the show, I watch it every once in a blue moon, but I do watch it. But there was a fan that called into their show and he asked the trio a question, and it showed how bleak it's gotten because they pivoted to the question being about Florian Wirtz, And Micah Richards basically said, we called him the signing of the season. Now he has to score a few more. Alan Shearer, I said Alan Shearer, excuse me. Shearer gave the classic line, let's not get carried away. It was only Wolves. Then laughed and said he was trying to wind John up. But Shearer also pointed out something important, the connection between Wirtz and Ekitike, the understanding, the give and go, how they complement each other has to be noted. Wirtz himself told BBC Sport it was a great feeling with the fans at Anfield around him, and he was confident the goal would come eventually. He wasn't really stressing about it. He admitted he wanted it earlier, of course, but accepted the process. Then he said something that I think matters and something I want to bring up, especially to the Shearers out there. He was brilliant in that first half, by the way, absolutely brilliant. And the last 20 minutes, Liverpool made it difficult, and they have to change that. But Florian Wirtz is a big, big component of how this team looks like something of a promise of success and fortune if we can just continue to evolve the players, the relationships, the trust amongst each other. And I think there's bigger context. This hasn't been an easy adaptation for the player or for some of the players, plural. And for Flo, it's been a big price tag that always weighs down players, been a lot of pressure that comes along with it. New country, new league, physicality. He had to put on weight for this league, and it took time for him to adjust. But Liverpool put him in the gym. They bulked him up, got higher intensity from the player as he continued to get, obviously more stronger. Critics focused on goals and assists. Even the Sunderland game effort was being judged as an own goal. I thought it was a goal, by the way, but that didn't help. So when he finally scored against Wolves, the relief was obvious. The goal itself was pure intelligence and timing. It's a good run in behind. Ekitike, excellent pass to keep his head up and see the player filling the channel. It was a great finish beyond Sa. And I thought what was very, 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 very telling, one of the biggest facts, and you can tell me if you thought different, but when he tapped that badge, I was like, yes, this guy is fully committed. He loves this club. You can tell that he's understanding what it means to be a Liverpool player. Look, the numbers back it up. I showed you those numbers. 3 chances created, 7 of 9 dribbles completed, 11 of 15 duels won, 9 touches in the opposition box. Got a standing ovation. Standing ovation when he left the pitch. Slot said he's been getting better every game. We've watched it. Better every week. It wasn't a surprise he was going to score, but it also made it clear that 1 goal isn't enough. He wants more, and Liverpool will need more from the player. But trust me, we will get more out of this player, certainly. So the concern remains, I know, game management, set-piece defending, Wolves scoring from a corner. Sully in the match had tension and never should have had. But Wirtz playing with the kind of swagger that he has, I think is important. What were your thoughts on Flo getting this? Is this the turning point for Wirtz, basically? Or do you still think he needs to be more consistent and still has room to improve on?
Yes, that could be said, that he needs to be more consistent and do it in more games. But, that could be said of any player who's just come into the league like a few months ago. Mm-hmm. I think he is doing the things that we wanted him to do now. And I was just trying to think, do you know what I can't stand, you mentioned, was fucking Alan Shearer. Now, I've never had a problem with Alan Shearer. Can I just tell you what my problem is with Alan Shearer? It was when Jota got that pen against Newcastle. Remember that, where the goalkeeper came out, took his leg, took him down, and Shearer just went off. And I was just like, no, I've lost respect for you now, guy.
Mm-hmm.
And anything you do or say hitherto shall be fucking consigned to the history bin.
Okay. Wirtz is on his way. Yes, he is. I'd ask Lee for what he thinks of Wirtz, even more for more passion for what he thinks about Wirtz, but I don't want to hear him drop any more F-bombs. So I'll just let him slide.
Sorry, Alan Shearer can kiss my ass. So
okay, all right. This episode is definitely going from getting a PG-13 rating, I'm sure, by YouTube.
No,
okay.
What was funny, like, is YouTube puts up all these videos, like, and after Alan Shearer said Diogo was like the worst person in the world for going down for a pen.
Yeah.
Put up all these videos of Shearer going down for a pen, and I was just like,
yeah. Big up to Ardo joining us. Big up to you, brother. Good to see you, my red.
No, Shearer was good at that. Shearer was always good at scoring. If you didn't knock him over, the cunt would score, like, but if you didn't knock him over, do you know what I mean? And then, like, you come up with that shit about Jota saying, he stayed on his feet and scored. It's like, man, fucking hell. Do you have no respect for your own memory? What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. What all these F-bombs? But all right. All right.
Alan Shearer, I've always liked him, but that's the point where he pissed me off, like many pundits, and that's the point where he pissed me off. Like, and I couldn't go back from there. The stupid twat.
Oh man. Look.
No, you can look it up. If you look up like Premier League fucking years ago, and that you see Alan Shearer falling over a lot because he wants a pen. And then when Jota done that against Newcastle, he was like the worst, like fucking evil idiot in the world. It was like, got no memory. Fuck off.
Got no memory. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on before that swear jar is going to get filled by the end of this episode. So,
I never really liked Alan Shearer that much anyway, because he never says anything funny ever when he's on footy things.
I get you. I met Shearer actually at the.
Did he say anything funny?
No, he didn't say anything.
I'm only messing, but
I didn't. I only.
At least made me laugh sometimes. Alan Shearer, never.
I only met him. I only met him and shook his hand because he was at the. It was one of those fan fests I do here in America. I went to the LA Fan Fest, and it was our game against Manchester United, and I got the pure pleasure of being one of the only Liverpool fans to ask a question on television. Actually, I was on TV, got to ask my question. I was wearing my long sleeve kit with the candy on it, and got to talk to the two Robbies after the game. It was a cool time. I mentioned it quite a bit. I know it was a cool time because I got to see the trophy and say it had blue ribbons at the time on it because Manchester City had won the title that year. But I said to it, I looked at that trophy and said, "Get ready to wear some red ribbons. Get ready to wear some red ribbons."
Up until that point, it was all positive for me with Alan Shearer. Great guy, Alan Shearer, boss goal scorer. And then he opened his stupid fucking cunt Geordie mouth.
Oh my goodness. All right, Lee. We're definitely going to be moving on.
Knees up easy.
Yeah, you can't drop the see you next Tuesdays, bro. That doesn't go over well at all. I know that you can get away with it somewhat in the UK because that can be a term of endearment, but not everywhere does that fly. So let's move on. JK, help me out. Help me out a little bit. Keeping the lead. He is definitely on one today. They got a tally for you going on right now, too, by the way, Lee. You're on 119 or now what, 120?
Sorry, I won't say that again. Like, fucking hell, Alan Shearer.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes Alan Shearer, I could put my hands around his throat.
Oh, no.
Really hard.
I think we should get a swear box, bro.
Oh, we should definitely.
Swear box, right? £5 every time anyone swears. Cool.
Yeah.
When he goes to charity.
We'll make it where it's every time he swears, that's one less trip to the peanut butter jar to make a peanut butter sandwich. How about that, or something like that? I don't know. Something that hits deep. Hits deep in the pockets. I'm just joking. Look, we're back. Yeah.
I was going to say before we left, we were talking about the Wolves game and we're giving the numbers of the players, how well they did and stuff. Like I would say for me, Wirtz scoring was the best moment of the game.
Oh yeah. What was your I usually like to ask that question. What was your feel good moment?
Yeah,
that was definitely a good feel. I will admit that, you know what, for me, I have to give credit to the imagery that seeing Jota's kids run onto the pitch. That has to take it for me.
That was top. Mm-hmm.
That was like I saw like they made Liverpool put out like a little like, you know, montage of clips of the entire day for them, and you know I'm watching Virgil warm up with them, you know, in the whole nine, and I'm like that's a beautiful moment. But it was a breath of fresh air also to see Wirtz get Wirtz's goal certainly takes a very, very close second to that too.
Yeah, but for me, the whole Jota children and everything, that was really, I separated that from the match. Like for me, that was a club.
I understand
Wolves together. Yeah. Wolves together with Liverpool together to show a bit of respect, and it was nice for the family to come there as well, you know. So God bless Diogo Jota and his brother, man. Yeah.
I thought maybe they're gonna do one of those things where they like they have like those half and half shirts, but they dress the kids up in Liverpool kits, which is cool. But I thought they were gonna do like you know
they could have done that
Liverpool, because, half Wolves.
You know, because normally I'm against them sort of t-shirts, but for this, it has a good meaning to do it. You know. Yeah, exactly. It's almost like, you know what they're talking about trying to do is they're talking about trying to at least I think it was either for the Villa games or the West Ham game. It was for one of the teams. They were saying how they're going to try to I think it might have been West Ham, but they're going to try and ban half and half scarves actually. Nah, shouldn't. Yeah. Because because they say that like you know some of that person will be in maybe like a you know in the opposition stands or maybe they'll be in you know whatever they'll be in a portion of the crowd where you're not able to see and represent who it is. I'll bring up the stat. It was a weird situation, but yeah, they said they're going to try to ban it. I don't know how you can ban it. Maybe you want one by one if you don't leave it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there, Jimmy. Very cool, man. Oh yeah, for sure. Let me see. West Ham. It was West Ham, by the way. So I'll tell you real quick. West Ham was the Premier League club that banned half and half scarves specifically for their derby against Tottenham in September 2025. They banned it. I know it was just recent. They cited it for increased security and preventing away fans from accessing home areas as the reason, with fans generally praising the move to avoid conflict and remove tourist-focused merchandise.
That made a lot of sense.
Yeah, but for me, it's the outside of the ground sellers who do half and half scarves. The clubs don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and there must be a lot sold over this season. You know what I mean? A lot of money's worth of half and half scarves. The clubs are banning it, so they don't sell it.
I don't think that the club is selling half and half scarves, to be honest with you.
No, they don't do that. I don't think. I've never really seen it when I've gone to Anfield.
Right. You're not like going into the merchandise store and finding that on the racks. Even for big games, you're not going to see
You're
that.
not.
So but yeah, I remember that was the case. West Ham's the only team that I heard doing it, and was for the derby. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, I wanted to just say, look, Wirtz's first Premier League goal, because I'm coming up on the 2-hour mark here. Premier League goal made it 4 straight wins for us. But again, look, Liverpool looked somewhat unrecognizable after the break. First, like it was weird how, we're at 2-0. Liverpool are in control. I've heard some content creators talk about how they don't believe that we put on what some are calling the handbrake, or what I call is the governor of our car, meaning like something of we get 2-0 and rather than continue to press on and push on for a third, or if not a fourth, we consider to like downshift and try to hold on and control the game and see out a 2-0 win. I don't think that's necessarily the type of team dynamics that we have on this club currently to be able to do that consistently. But apparently that's his path, I think. But we have to do something about the set piece goals. That's the 12th set piece goal conceded in the league that made it 2-1. That certainly is something that gets under all of our nerves. Wolves didn't have the quality, fortunately for us, to punish us fully, I think, but they did put Liverpool under pressure. You look at it, they produced 1.01 XG to Liverpool's 0.38 after halftime. So they had a higher XG than we did after halftime. A second half was abysmal. The positives, I will say this, is the unbeaten in 7, 4 wins on the bounce, despite a wafer-thin squad. Liverpool are picking up points, nudging their way back into the top 4, which is where we're at right now. Let me share that with you too. Share this graphic. But the warning is loud. I think the next opponent might have the quality that Wolves did not, in that Leeds certainly have a little bit better quality than Wolves. But we have to, but I'm not saying that Leeds are a on par, equally on par team with us. Despite the draw, I get the 3-3 draw at Leeds. I still think that we should handily beat Leeds at Anfield. We're back at top 4. Yeah,
it's a revenge mission for me. Like, we should have beat them, hands down. Like when that 3-3 happened, but the revenge mission will be coming, hopefully, in the next game.
Yeah. We are definitely.
I do really like.
As long as you can say it, as long as it's not an F-bomb, you can say whatever you like.
No, fucking hell. Well,
oh my God!
I'm excited to know how Daniel Farke would say the F-bomb with his lisp. I don't know what it'd sound like, but he's got.
I will have to save that for.
Have you heard him when he speaks, Daniel Farke? He's such a nice man, but he's got a lisp. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. I love Daniel Farke's lisp.
Right. We're at 122, I think, or 123, something like that. All right. So,
just listen. Next time he speaks, just listen. He's got He's got such a cute lisp, the guy.
I will. Hyler thinks that Leeds is the 5th, or not thinks, he knows that Leeds is the 5th. He put the stat in there. They're the 5th in the form table at the moment. So any result in this match will not surprise, certainly. I can't settle. We cannot settle for a draw against Leeds at
No.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Cannot do it.
Like for me, there should be revenge for the 3-3. You know, we should have wrapped that game up. We allowed them to come back into it.
Yeah. We needed to do that.
Show for Arnie that. So hopefully he'll be on the let's rectify this vibe when we play them again.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, he should have been on that vibe against not only Leeds, but he should have been on that for some of the other teams he played before too. But it's all the same. Let me see.
Mate, if we don't beat Leeds, I'm giving up my thing as a football fan. I will never watch football again if we don't beat Leeds.
That graphic too has Villa at 36, but it should be 39 points because they didn't. That's not including the Chelsea match. That's why it says 17 played. But it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Look, some are calling this next matchup for Villa or for Arsenal more so, which is tomorrow. They're calling it possibly the game of the season for them. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Simply because obviously Villa's a team in form. Obviously, that would be points dropped. It would make them, if Villa were to win that game, that would make them equal on points. Of the goal differential wouldn't be the same. They would still be behind Arsenal, but they would be equal on points if they were to beat Arsenal tomorrow. And it would also give the opportunity for Manchester City to regain the lead once again and go top of the league if Manchester City could win their game. So,
no, my brain says Villa win if we were in the title race, but we're not, so I'm not quite sure which result I'd like. But,
well, there's a bag of games tomorrow. Let me before we wrap up, since we got JK here, I'll go through the games with you guys real quick. West Ham Brighton is the first game on the bill, and the team I say first is the home team. So West Ham Brighton. I'm gonna go Brighton win in that game.
I'm going Brighton, bro.
Yeah.
Wolves are pretty bad.
They are pretty. West Ham. West Ham. Yeah. How about for you, Lee? West Ham, Brighton.
West Ham, Brighton. Fuck me. I'll go with Brighton for this one. I think that fella, the guy, the manager fella.
124, by the way.
The Austrian fella, he's going to do the business.
Okay. Thanks, Nora. Thanks. Forest Everton. Oh, what a horrible result Everton got in that last matchup for themselves. They'll need a bounce back in this, but they travel to Forest, which is going to be still a difficult matchup for them.
It's got a fucking draw written all over it. That has got a draw written all over it. Whatever angle you view it from, whatever way you see it, that's got a fucking draw written all over it. That
125, but go ahead. Thanks, Norm. All right. What are you doing? What are you doing, JK? I'm going draw. It would be Forest is the home team in that game. All right. I'll save that for him. He's not in the Gene's going to draw in that game too. Yeah, that's got draw written all over it, I think. We'll save that one for later for JK. Chelsea, Bournemouth. Chelsea have lost 2 games in a row now. They're at home at the Bridge. Bournemouth. Let me see what Bournemouth is just as bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got 3 draws and 2 losses in the last 5 games. Chelsea have had 2 losses and 2 draws, and a win.
That could be a draw then.
You think it's going to be a draw? Chelsea get another draw against Bournemouth at home. If they get a draw at home, oh my goodness, their fan base is going to be out for blood.
I think Bournemouth have gone off rail because Semenyo's sort of making noises. He wants to leave in January.
Okay.
He's one of their main players as well. You know what I mean?
Okay. Draw for you too, Lee?
I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting
Just
that.
to muddy the waters.
Okay.
Redman's album, Muddy Waters, remember?
Muddy Waters. Yeah. Oh, what you want to do for Chelsea? Everton, Forest Everton, my fault.
Oh, Forest Everton. Let's go a draw there as well, I think.
Draw. I want draw as well. So let's see. I know Jean's got a draw. She's got 2 draws going for the last 2 games. Burnley, Newcastle. I'm going Newcastle. But they're at Burnley.
Yeah, Burnley, but Newcastle are good at home with their fans and stuff. Away from home, they're not great. I'm going to go for a Burnley win.
Okay. You're going for a Burnley win, all right?
Yeah.
Make sure I heard that right. All right.
Everything about this fucking game says a Newcastle win, but I've got so pissed off with Newcastle fans lately that I reckon Burnley might get a draw there, and I hope they fucking should. All the fucking bile and evil shit that's come out of Newcastle fans lately, like, fuck you. I hope you can't get 3 points at Burnley.
Okay. We're closing in on that 130 mark. We're closing on. Or are we at 130? Okay, my bad. 130. We're at 130. 131 or something. Okay.
So that was about 100 quid in the
square
box. We're sorted.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Don't worry. Lee is about to Lee with his swearing is about to fund my
I'm only messing.
He's got
I watched the video about that lately, like the people who swear most. What type of people are you? Okay. The people who swear most are the people with the largest vocabularies. They just say fuck for a laugh.
Okay, 132. And
that's
what was your rating or not rating? What was your call for that Burnley game? This is for you, JK.
I'm going Burnley, bro.
Are you going Burnley too?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Burnley, the surprise. Holding off Newcastle at home. All right. Man U versus Wolves.
At Wolves, first win of the season.
Oh, that would be great. That would be fantastic.
No hesitation there. Straight in there.
No hesitation. Get in.
Look. I've been dazzled by the haze of Man United's glaze a lot lately. So I reckon United will win this one. Something within my soul tells me United will win this one by hook or by crook.
Right. Okay.
Which is against the bottom side in the league. So you better get fucking busy.
Okay. We get you. You want to break the record today. I think you're already at the record, by the way. Pops. But all right. All right. So make sure I have Wolves for you, JK, and you're going United, right?
The league on United, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you want United. I know.
Still,
I gotta ask them.
It's a weird part of me that
what's the
audience? United stills.
What's the audience thinking of his rating? I don't think they like that one. I don't think they liked you picking United, but it's all good. All right, let's go into let's go into the final game of the year, by the way. Arsenal host Aston Villa at the Emirates.
Go on, Villa.
I say, get in there, Villa. Get in there. Where do you go?
I'm not a
Where do
big
you
fan
go
of
with?
any other team, but one thing I can't have next May is Arsenal winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, Villa, whatever you got to do, get it done.
Wow. Jean Grey thinks that they're going to get this. She's right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
2-1 upset.
Well,
If they lose to Wolves, there will be no way that that he holds on to that gig. There's no way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but do Arsenal not look like a title-winning fucking side at the moment? Every fucking game they're winning, by hook or by crook, they look like a title-winning side to me.
Yeah, but bro, Man City have crept up on them. So one defeat, Man City are over them, taking over. So
but City's got weaknesses that Arsenal haven't got this season. Like, so, you know, in the grander scheme of things, I think Arsenal will win the title. And I'll give them their flowers. I will acknowledge them.
So you're going Arsenal? Is that what you're trying to say, basically?
To win the title? Fucking yes.
Don't know.
Yeah, I can't see anyone else winning it.
I meant in this game, just in this game.
I've said that I'm going over old ground, like what I'm saying. This, like, it impresses me. It impresses the shit out of me, the way they're winning games this season. That looks like a title-winning side to me.
I'll tell you the truth.
We're only halfway. We're only halfway. When the 19th game is played, which is when the next one kicks off, that's the halfway point. But to me, at the halfway point, Arsenal look like a fucking title-winning side.
Look, this could be the start of something great if you are an Arsenal hater. And what I mean by that is if Arsenal were to lose to Villa, it would put some real instability in their confidence of being able to hold on to this lead and get it all over the line. But not only will it shake their confidence, they'll then have to go to Bournemouth and win at Bournemouth, and then return home to face us at the Emirates. So this is an opportunity for them to either get some draws that'll end up hurting them in the long run. It'll end up or getting possibly some very devastating L's on their team sheet, and that's what I want to see is us get. I'd like to see them go in the next 3 games, get 2 losses and a draw against Bournemouth. How about that? Come out with 1 point out of 9 in the next 3, and all of a sudden, Arsenal are in the amount of chatter that will frequent the internet will be unbelievably chaotic when it comes to
I love it. I think it's brilliant. And Arsenal do deserve to win the league again after all these years. So there.
Okay.
Arteta was manager of Everton. No, played for Everton, bro. How can you want an old Everton player to win the Premier League?
No, I'm a horrible constant now with footy, me. But I do think Arsenal look like champions this season. Whoever's winning,
they do look like
whoever's in the first
like
11, they look like a fucking championship winning team to me.
I don't know about that. They don't play championship.
They're looking better, but that's what 1 billion gets you when you spend $1 billion. You know what I mean?
They look good. I'm not taking it away from them that they don't look good, but I'm not going as far as to say they look.
Can I just share the secret with you guys? Arsenal have never won the European Cup / Champions League. Never. Not once.
Okay.
Well, Gene, our accountant, says the bill is 685.
There you go. Oh, I'm getting first class. I'm going first class when I get my ticket.
You must have heard of the Europa League. Arsenal haven't even won that once. That's the only remnant, from the old Republic. The only one Arsenal have won is European Cup Winners' Cup.
Let me see if you guys can get
doesn't
these
exist no more, so it's not even a trophy.
We've got only 3 games left on here. Let me go through these 3 so we can wrap up the show here. Crystal Palace versus Fulham. I have Crystal Palace winning that game. Crystal Palace has stumbled as of late, but it's against Fulham. It's at home. I think they rebound and win that game. What do you have it as?
Fucking hell. I'll tell you this. It's a long story. I'll let someone else
have F-bombs.
It was about Arsenal winning something in Europe, and they didn't even win it. I had this football book when I was a kid who told you, like, everyone who's won something, like, since it started. And Arsenal, they were only in it once as a losing finalist in 1980.
Okay.
Hi, Bernadette.
Hi, Bernie. Lady B in the house. Big up. We got two of our Red Queens in the house. Big up to both of you. Fulham is playing Crystal Palace at home. Crystal Palace is playing at home, but they're hosting Fulham.
Fulham beat West Ham 1-0 the other day, and Palace have been losing games. I'll go Fulham win. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll figure that out, Cole Ratio. I'll have to get him his own censor button. Okay. But all right, so
hang on. There was Arsenal in the 90s. I forgot to say there was Arsenal in the 90s where they won the Cup Winners' Cup against that Italian team.
There was that. Yeah, that's the one they referenced.
Mate, that was under George Graham, and he fucking won like a European Cup. George Graham, I was made up about that. Fucking hell. Under Wenger, they just couldn't do it. The footy was sexy, like, you know, but the trophies, they just weren't there.
I don't think we're way over the over on how many times he's going to swear tonight. I think he's up to 141, Norm.
He's paying the duty-free bill now with all the add-ons.
Yeah, I'm going to be picking up gifts for people at the duty-free shop now. Yep. Okay.
Anyone want the aftershave? Anything?
Yeah. All right. So Crystal Palace, what do you have? Who do you have?
15th in the form table, Elio says. So Palace not great at the moment. I think they miss Sarr. You know, so I think he's their main guy, man.
Okay, so you're gonna go Fulham or gonna go Fulham? Okay. How about for you, Lee?
Crystal Palace can kiss my slight hairy arse.
Okay.
Is that because all the defeats they gave us, Lee?
Yes. Okay. I know. What would it be? Still all the same.
No, I've always liked them. It was that weird shit, like that final years ago. And then that shit when we fucking played them in the, what's it called? The charity cup or something, and we got beat. Fuck it, not having those people anymore. Fuck you.
Okay. What do you say? What are you saying? Where are we going? Where are we going with this?
Free gay he. We don't want to pay any money. Give him to us. He belongs to us.
Okay. Wait, what did you pick?
Fulham, bro, that game.
Fulham, yeah, I got yours. What are you going? Where are you going, Lee?
Where are you going, Lee? Fulham, he's going Fulham as well, isn't he?
Fucking hell, we're playing Fulham next after we destroy Leeds. Fulham are next on the fucking list. Okay. So Fulham, fuck you. Your shit. Okay.
Oh my gosh! All right.
I fucking hate Fulham a bit.
Marcus,
like,
I guess you do.
Sometimes we can't get the points off these cunts. Do you know what I mean?
This is definitely going from a season greeting style.
Don't fucking like them. Okay. And we fucking need these points.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Oh fucking hell! Did you see that?
All right.
When Robbo got sent off at Anfield, did you see that shit? That fucking cunt who's playing for Man United. Andre Pereira. Fucking
remember.
Let's do this.
Evil little cunt him.
All right, let's do this.
Andre
to Vegas for his
Manchester
match.
City.
I
Manchester City
fucking
is.
can't stand that guy, Andre Pereira from Fulham. He used to play for Man United. He's a cunt all day.
All right, Manchester City are next on this list. They play City home. Wait, hold on. Let me see if they're home or not. Sunderland's home. So Manchester City, Sunderland versus Manchester City. I know. I'm sorry to drive. You're driving Lady B away. What are you doing, Lee? Your cursing's killing her. City versus or City travels to Sunderland. Who do you have in that game? City or Sunderland?
I'll go City. Yeah.
City. It's tough to go against them. How about for you?
I'm going City because it seems like the sensible thing to do. Come on, City.
There you go. All right, last but not least, Brentford hosts Tottenham. That's a big game, actually, for both teams, to tell you the truth. Obviously, because of
Brentford are doing pretty well. 8th.
Yeah. And on top of that, like the connections to the former coach and everything.
I used to like.
And it's at Brentford too, by the way. It is at Brentford.
It's at Brentford, the Hoover Stadium. Their stadium, they're good Hoovers there. What is it, GTEC? Yeah, GTEC Hoovers. Vacuum cleaners, I think Americans call it now.
Okay. Yeah, it is. The Hoover is a vacuum cleaner for sure.
Yeah, they're real. I've got one of their Hoovers. It's real good. But I feel in that game, I liked what I was going to say about Thomas Frank. I liked him. And then after our game we had against them, I'm thinking he gave the instructions for their players to behave in that manner. So I hope they get back to
Definitely, Jay. I'm a nice person like that. I didn't want to think that all the shit they did to us came out of his fucking mouth. And only a bit of it did, I think. They were just weird. They fucked us up badly there.
Hey, listen.
So I hope Tottenham get beat, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what it did? Buzz off that we got the win anyway. So fuck yous.
All right.
No, it's always been a good
okay. All right. So what is it? What is it for Brentford? I have Brentford winning that game. What do you have?
Yeah, Brentford.
Do you have Spurs winning or Brentford? Lee.
It's Spurs this time. Brentford got the best of Frank before, but he's on a revenge mission now. So he needs to do his thing, doesn't he? And go, hey, you bastards, I will win at least one. So yeah, my money's on Spurs.
This is the new advertisement or award for Lee. Let me see if I can do this correctly. Hold on, let me see. that one's for Lee. There used to be this woman used to be in a commercial.
Oh mate, who did massively fancy was fucking what's that thing? Looks like
Orbit's commercials.
Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings. She was like the elf queen or something. She looked fit. Fucking, she looked like that woman there. The elf queen, Kate Blanchett in Lord of the Rings, elf queen.
Elf queen. Okay, I have to remember that. Yeah, this is for they used to. I don't know if you had those commercials over there.
She got all fucking mad when someone come in and attacked her and that. Weird. And no, that was a different film. That was the Robin Hood film where you go, you bastards, and Kate Blanchett, mate, fit bird that you wouldn't trifle. You wouldn't just trifle away.
It's gonna be your new meme. Every time you curse, I'm gonna flash to this.
Yeah. That's gonna be all the time, bro. Leave it on.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I'll just have to make that my new background for
Your new background is
it's called Robin Hood fucking thing.
There you go, press it.
Russell Crowe is the fella in Robin Hood, and she appears
know.
like as an angel or something. That fucking yes.
All right.
Sorted, bro.
All right. We're gonna be wrapping it up here before we get too close to the 200 mark of F bombs. We're gonna be wrapping up here. Look, I'll let Lee. It'll be profanity free, but I'll let Lee say his parting words to everyone.
You cunting fucking bastards, queers.
No.
Come on, Lee, bro.
No.
Lee, come on, bro.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Hi,
We're all
guys.
grown-ups, yeah. We're all grown-ups, yeah.
That thing that was on there before about Kate Winslet in The Lord of the Rings, where she's like the elf princess or some shit. And then there's another one called, what's it called? Robin Hood.
Okay.
All right. JK.
I was going to say thanks to Lee for making me laugh. Bless up, bro. And thanks to the chat, as always. Hope everyone's cool in the chat. Have a happy new year as well. Mm-hmm.
We are the Reds. We are the Reds.
Yeah.
We are the Reds.
We are. Okay. I did have something else for the end. I did have something else for the moment of Zen, but I will, considering the direction that this show went, I'm not going to put that up. So I'll just end by saying, look, drop your thoughts on Wirtz, on set pieces, on the second half fade out that we did in this game, or where this top four race is heading, if we even think that we're back into the conversation. Do you think that we have a chance at Champions League like I still do? Look, please like, subscribe, and as always, certainly none of this and plenty of just up the Reds each and every time. All right. Definitely take care, everyone. And
take care, everyone.
We will see you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.